Humanity first, serving mankind. We are reaching out to the world with a message of hope. We are reaching out to the poor, the sick and the lone, serving mankind, serving mankind, serving Africa.
Wow, welcome back from those impressions of some of the people who have benefited from the works of Humanity First here in Uganda. And as I told you, this broadcast is aimed at raising money for the needy people in our communities. And we have got a chance, or someone who has replied or answered this call, and that is one of our donors who also happens to be the ex-army Uganda, that is respected Haj Swaib Nsera, who is also right now with us in the studios. And I want us to hear from him, and what message does he have for the people who are watching this broadcast, and why should we donate and help the needy? Respected ex-Amir Sab, you are welcome on this broadcast. And we are looking at the works of Humanity First, and also we are raising money and all donations to help those people who are in need. And you are one of those people who have answered this call, that you have accepted to donate something that will help those people who are in need. What message do you have for those people who are watching this broadcast, especially about helping those people who are in need?
Yeah, thank you. Once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
You have already been told that Humanity First was started 37 years ago by the then supreme head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Association worldwide, the late Minister Tahir Ahmad, rahmahullah. His intention was to help the needy. The orphans, the disabled, and others. And in these 37 years, or in the last 37 years, Humanity First has done a lot.
It's 27 years.
27 years, all over the world. In Uganda, I will not repeat what the officials of the Humanity First have already told you, but we have done a lot, and we continue doing so. Now, some of the needy are orphans. If an orphan is assisted, he can also, for instance, go to school, study, and complete at university level, and become a good citizen of this country, and even later help others. Therefore, I appeal all those Ugandans who are able to donate to assist the orphans and other needy people. It's a noble cause, it's a noble responsibility by all those who are able to do so. And like you have been told, Humanity First welcomes every person, Christians, Muslims, and others, to donate towards this noble cause of helping the needy. Therefore, once again, I urge all my friends who may be watching me, particularly the business people, please come forward and donate. My members of Kwagalana Club, come along and donate, because our purpose as Kwagalana members, one of our purpose really is to help the needy. Munno mukabi ye munno ddala. A friend in need is indeed a friend indeed. So, like we have been told, I have also decided to donate 2 million shillings towards this cause. But of course, it's a drop in the ocean, like my brother Abdu Chiwanuka has explained. We need a lot, but at least it will also do something.
Thank you very much.
So whoever is able, please come forward and donate so that we can help the orphans, the needy, and they also enjoy a good life.
Thank you very much, Mr. Swipe Msera, for that generous heart. And I think, dear viewers, you have seen that really people have started responding to this call. And if you have something that you want to also donate, like our respected Swipe Msera has done, please reach us on the contacts that are running down on the screen. We have the mobile telephone numbers, and we have also the bank accounts that are running down on the screens, and we shall welcome it, and people outside there who are suffering will get happy. Thank you very much. As I speak right now, we are running out short of time, and we have a lot of stuff on our menu. Let's now, right now, cross to, we are going to UK, where we are having our brother Jamil Mwanje, who is the country relationship manager, Uganda, and he is going to take us through the recently Humanity First. It has just celebrated its silver jubilee in the field of humanity, serving humankind, and we want to hear something which is just brief to tell us what is actually the impact that Humanity First has created as far as serving mankind is concerned.
Our dear viewers, it's an honor to be with you today. I'm Mwanje Jamil, the Relationship Manager of Humanity First Uganda, based in United Kingdom. Recently, Humanity First celebrated 25 years of existence, a landmark which was celebrated around the world, and Uganda was one of them. That journey has not been very easy, as anybody working with the charities will let you know. But our journey has been made easy because of people like you, the stakeholders I would like to thank to start with. One of our stakeholders is the government of Uganda, which has been very instrumental in making sure we get where we are. The government has been very, very useful in terms of licensing, in terms of taxes. There is a lot which is involved in our work, and every time we've knocked at the government's door, we have received all the support you can think of, and for that we are really grateful. The other stakeholder, which I think is also very important to remember, are the volunteers. The structure of Humanity First is so interesting that almost 99.9% of our volunteers are not paid. And it's so interesting that many of our volunteers are expected to sacrifice time, even hard cash. This is the interesting bit, that our sponsors are very sure their donations are not going to be spent on the administrative part of it. And that is a wonderful part of our existence, that without our sponsors, we wouldn't be, without our volunteers and you, the sponsors, we wouldn't be where we are today. And for that, please, thank you so much. I would like to talk about some of the programs we do, but those are going to be covered by other speakers who have made, some of them have already done so. But I would just want to pick out a few of them, and one of them is Water for Life. We, at the beginning, realized one of the things we could do which would multiply or solve other programs was providing of clean water, which many people have done. And there's so many broken down boreholes around the world, and we are talking of millions, but nobody comes back to repair these boreholes. You might be seeing them around. This is one of the things we do. On top of digging new boreholes, we are also repairing boreholes, which are quite many. And I would be surprised if there is any district in Uganda where we have not been. But even the local teams, the administrators have all been very supportive, for which we are really grateful. The other aspect, many people don't realize that Uganda is one of the most hospitable countries around the world, and we have, I think, the biggest number of refugees in Africa. We've got so many, we've gone through wars, we've gone through all sorts of diseases and epidemics which have taken many lives. And as a result, we've got so many orphans. And this is one aspect we decided to take on as part of our programs, and that is the orphan care. We've got quite a number of orphans. We are looking at some of these orphans. For example, we used to look after orphans from their homes, and we realized you provide fees, but you've not provided food, you've not provided accommodation, you've not provided ABCD. So as a result, in many cases, we take on these children and we take on the whole life, and that is putting them in boarding schools, which has helped us quite a lot, because you provide the whole life instead of only providing education. And this is one aspect for which we are really grateful to you, the sponsors, and then our local team and the schools, which many of them are very lenient in terms of how much has to be paid. The other interesting aspect, I think, where we've had a breakthrough is the global health, where we organize medical camps. I myself have been to Uganda, and I attended the medical camp in Mbale, where we had about 1,000 people every day for 3 days. And that is 3,000 patients in 3 days. And we didn't finish it, but because of the available resources, and all these resources are coming from you. One interesting aspect now, which is also another landmark, we are able to bring down doctors from the United Kingdom, from the NHS, and these are some of the best doctors in the world. They are part of our medical camps. These doctors have to pay for their tickets. That's one aspect. They pay for their tickets. We provide accommodation, and we also have to thank the government for the security and the licensing and the visas. It has become so easy to bring them down. One other interesting aspect of our programs, which we do around the world, is the gift of sight. Literally, without eyes, somebody is in prison. They can't see, they can't do anything almost. So what we did, for example, the last medical camp, which was in Mbale Hospital, we sponsored about 215 cataract operations, where I had an opportunity to see one patient where the plasters were removed and saw the family for the first time. It was absolute madness in terms of joy. And these are some of the things that keep us going when you look at such joy and you think of, oh, somebody paid $40 for this operation, which any one of you can become a donor in terms of this. It's just 150,000 shillings. It's quite a lot, but I believe Uganda has got so many people who can afford it, but they just need to be guided to the HF office, and many of them, I believe, would be happy to give somebody their life back. It's like walking out of prison when you get your sight back. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot that is done by HF, as you'll be told, but due to time shortage, I just have to stop there. But one thing I want to assure you, every one of you can become a volunteer, a nurse, a doctor, an engineer. You can come and join Humanity First in our medical camps. Any one of you can donate a kilo of beans. That kilo of beans can turn into a sack. A kilo of maize can turn into a sack. One goat after 2 years can become 10 goats. Every one of you can become a donor. Every one of you can become a volunteer. Once again, I would like to thank our team, the volunteers. Without you, the sponsors, we wouldn't be what we are. And all the other stakeholders like the government will really appreciate your support. For the last 25 years, you've made us what we are today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Brother Mwanje, Jamil Mwanje, that is the Country Relationship Manager, Uganda, for that message. Brother Kwanuka, yes, you have heard him. Some supplement about that?
Thank you very much. I've liked one of the points that Brother Jamil Mwanja's put forward, him being our country relationship manager. He has talked about the donations that we get that are not used in the administrative costs. You know, this is something that we might not have, not everyone might have understood very well, that when you look at the costs of administering anything, they're they are the highest. You know, whenever you say you need to have surgeons and you need to have a different kind of setup for you to offer, it becomes very expensive, you know. But every penny that is donated to Humanity First is not going to cover the administrative costs, because we are having volunteers, from the person who is going to sit at the gate or at the entrance to register the needy as they are alive, to the doctor or the surgeon who is going to operate them, or the engineer who is going to install that water pump, you know. So every donation, every penny reaches where it's supposed to go. Mm-hmm. And this is one beauty of Humanity First. And lastly, he raised the call to Uganda as a whole, that when I was with him in Mbale last year when we were carrying out these surgeries, like he said, when we were giving the report to the ophthalmologist and the human resource manager and the directors of the hospital, the human relationship manager almost jumped out of his seat when I told him that I'm spending about 200 to 250,000 on every surgery. You know, he was like, you mean I can as well be a potential donor? And this is the very thing that the country relationship manager is saying, that Uganda as a country, as long as we get to these people and we let them know that only 10,000 can cover the screening costs of the person when you go out, you look for them. So this is, as I will appeal to add on what former Miller said, to I will call to the population of Uganda out there, the Ugandans and across the different people, our brothers in Kenya, in Ghana, however small what you have is, you don't know the impact that is going to cause. Even if it's 10,000, even if it's 1,000, it can buy a pen. We have a lot of children in school who cannot afford pens. And you know how you're going to make work easy for this young one.
Thank you very much. We are running short of time. And right now, as he has said, our contacts, bank accounts are running on the screen, and the telephone numbers, you can donate whatever you have on those. Right now, let's cross to Brother Fazal Ahmad, Director Operations, Humanity First International. And we want to know how Humanity First, how the work actually on a global level, how the work of Humanity First, the impact it is causing in serving mankind.
Assalamu alaikum. It's a pleasure to be joining the Uganda Telethon today. Over the last year, in fact over the last 2 or 3 years, we've seen the ongoing impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Then we've seen the ongoing impact of climate change, and more recently the conflict in Ukraine. And this has had a profound impact on food security around the world, particularly in many parts of Africa, where now cooking oil has been rationed, bread has been rationed, there's less availability of grains and other foodstuffs. And so during this telethon, and this telethon has been global, we've been looking at ways of tackling the combined impact on food security and also on poverty. This year we've seen storms and droughts and other catastrophic events. So in the Horn of Africa, not far from Uganda, we're seeing the worst drought for over 40, 50 years. This affecting southern Ethiopia, northern Kenya, and all of Somalia. We've equally seen extreme flooding in the eastern parts of South Africa. We have seen drought in Chad. We've seen flooding in Gambia and many, many other examples of climate change. And these have been affecting harvests as well. So, as I said, the combined impact of coronavirus and climate change and now these conflicts is really hurting many parts of Africa. So we're trying to address food security and poverty. And this is through a range of programs that Humanity First is doing. In the areas of agriculture, we are looking at farming and crop processing and technology that is appropriate to Africa. And even here in Uganda, we'll be looking at how we can do mid-scale farming projects where we can keep some of the harvest in storage for future emergencies, but also use some of the harvest to provide free rations to the elderly, the disabled, and those that are vulnerable in society, even here in Uganda. Secondly, education and vocational training, because even in the area of agriculture, many people have been taking plots of land and then doing subsistence farming to be able to cover just their own family's needs, whereas they could do much larger scale industrial farming and generate an income not just for themselves but for the entire village. So education in that area is important, but we're also investing in schools and in vocational training around Africa based on local needs. And even here in Uganda, we have the 2 training centres in Budaka and Chotera. Then we, on schools, we've built over 80 schools now, mainly primary schools, but across Africa we are investing in schools, and mainly these are in rural areas where often children miss out on education. So we're trying to ensure that all children from across the region are able to access education not too far from where they live. Water. I mean, we are investing in water installations in rural areas. Even then, with the climate change, we're seeing that we're having to drill deeper because you drill and then the water table is dropping. And this is something that we've been seeing in Africa for many years. But we've done over 4,500 water installations, many in Uganda, and we were planning to do many more. Then on healthcare, and we have done many projects across Africa where we are running ad hoc medical camps, doing outreach to villages, but also investing in health infrastructure. And we're building a hospital in Tanzania, we're building hospitals in Ivory Coast and São Tomé, and we've been doing medical work in Uganda. So these are all areas that we are going to be working on more. The main telethon took place a couple of weeks ago on the 5th of November. I'm very happy that Uganda are also running their own telethon feed. We had feeds from the Pacific region, from South Asia, from Africa, from Europe and North America so far. We've raised over $3 million. I'm hoping that with the telethon in Uganda, you will be successful in raising some funds locally, and we'll be supporting you from international. And I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that through the interventions that we can do, we can make Uganda more independent and stronger and more resilient to shocks like climate change and the COVID pandemic in the future. Jazakallah. Salam alaikum.
Thank you very much, Brother Fazal Ahmad, Director Operations, Humanity First International, for that wonderful message. And before we come back, I wanted us to come back in the studio, but let's have also another message from Brother Ahmed Jawad Hammond, the General Secretary, Humanity First Ghana. And he is telling us about the impact of Humanity First activities and how to raise the funds and execute these activities. How does Humanity First raise the funds, and how does it execute its activities, especially in the regions of Ghana?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ahmed Jawad Hammond, General Secretary for Humanity First Ghana. On behalf of the Chairman of Humanity First Ghana, on behalf of all board members and volunteers, we wish to state that we are very grateful to Almighty Allah and very much honored to be part of Humanity First Uganda Telethon 2022. Humanity First Ghana over the years have also organized or participated in telethons such as what we are organizing today. We've also done the same in our country to raise funds to support building of schools, refurbishment of old classroom blocks, drilling of boreholes, medical outreach programs. We also have support for individuals, families, and institutions during disasters or pandemics. We also have food security projects of supporting farmers with improved farming inputs and extension services, and many other initiatives. We've been able to achieve these through various fundraisings such as telethons. We have always believed that there are lots of generous people out there who also share in our mission of supporting the vulnerable and the needy. And we must always find ways to reach out to them to donate. And one of such means is through telethons like what Humanity First Uganda is doing today, Alhamdulillah. I will therefore encourage all viewers and participants of this telethon that there is nothing small in serving mankind, parent and orphan today. There is so much blessings in any form of effort to put a smile on the face of an orphan. And I will therefore urge that we should all try and support this very, very wonderful initiative of trying to parent orphans, which is being initiated by Humanity First Uganda. I will say that Asante, Mungu akubariki. May Almighty Allah continue to bless us all. So from Ghana, from the chairman of Humanity First Ghana, from the board members, from all volunteers, and everybody in Ghana, we wish Humanity First Uganda very well in your telethon. We say, may Almighty Allah richly bless all your efforts, and may He bless every individual that has put in an effort in one way or the other to make this telethon a success, and to all those who have also donated to be able to support this cause. We say, Almighty Allah bless you all and accept all your sacrifices. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Things, and please continue watching this broadcast, and if you wish to donate, please we have our contacts running just down on the screen. Please donate whatever you have for the suffering people who are outside there. Before we bring in some of the impressions by some of the government officials here in Uganda about the work of Humanity First. Now, I want to say, Brother Abdukwanka, please, what is your supplement reaction on the two messages by Brother Fazal Ahmad, Director Operations, Humanity First International, and Brother Ahmed Jawad Hammond?
Thank you very much. This kind of the spirit of international drive. If you see, you've heard what is happening in Kenya, and you see the very same spirit that is happening in Ghana, and then this is what is happening in UK, and the different, and it's exactly what is happening here. Brother Fazal Ahmad has talked about their drive and how they managed to raise about $3 million US, and this is the very thing that we are doing here. And you see that Humanity First is extending its branches, not of the donation that it is having, but the spirit of carrying the responsibility to look after our own. Brother Kishoma talked about what is happening in Kenya and how they are addressing these problems, and it's what we are doing in Uganda.
And actually, as you said earlier, I think it's something which is international. Of course, we have had in Ghana and Kenya, and I think Humanity First also is collaborating with some stakeholders in the governments in their respective...
Yeah, in every country, because we are in 61 countries across 6 continents. And in these 61 or 62 countries, we are registered with the governments. And the governments are well aware of how we are as well empowering the very communities.
Now, on that note, let's actually now have, as you have said, that these governments, different governments, are also working together with Humanity First, and we have some of the impressions by some of the government officials concerning Humanity First here in Uganda. Let's have a message, or a message from Honorable Wilson Muluri Mukasa, who is the Minister of Public Service and Cabinet Affairs here in Uganda.
Allow me to begin by congratulating His Holiness, the Caliph,
Honorable Wilson Muluri Mukasa, who is the Minister of Public Service and Cabinet Affairs here in Uganda.
Allow me to begin by congratulating His Holiness, the Caliph, and the Humanity First family upon the milestone of a wider global reach as you have continued to lend a hand to the most needy in your notable pursuit of upholding human dignity. I am made to understand that the pandemic didn't spare this conference either, as it couldn't be held last year on account of a ravaging menace we know as COVID-19. It was indeed unbearable a time, and it is indeed reassuring and gives me great pride to express my gratitude to the selfless service of Humanity First, extended to health services and communities across the globe. Through donation of PPEs and other surgical materials, you relieved agony of frontline workers at a most critical time of need. With your delivery services at the darkest hour, your volunteers inspired hope in communities, thus availed a protective shield against the pandemic, as people were equipped adequately against the pains of lockdown situations. In Uganda, we have a development partner in Humanity First, one that has displayed exceptional readiness and zeal to contribute to the cause of national transformation through community-based programs which are geared towards uplifting livelihoods. Water wells have been constructed, relief material distributed. Your contribution to growth of the education sector, and most notably donating toward the COVID-19 appeal as made by His Excellency, the President of the Republic. To all this, we say thank you. It is my humble appeal that you deepen involvement in the African continent as we battle the pain of unequal access, and for that, Humanity First shall be ever remembered as a friend of Africa. I once again thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. That has been Honorable Wilson Mururi Mukasa, Minister of Public Service and Cabinet Affairs. He's a very good friend of Humanity First here in Uganda. And let's also now have another message from the third Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, and that is Honorable Nakadama Isanga.
I greet you all with salutations of peace. I'm called Nakadama Rukia Isanga. I'm the third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister without portfolio in the Republic of Uganda. I greet you all in the name of the Almighty. It is a distinct honor for me to join this conference in celebrating a 25-year dedicated service of humanity, and more fulfilling is the consciousness that we are here, bound by a collective responsibility, grounded in relations to social development goals as per our United Nations mandate. We are a world based by all sorts of challenges which have strained social systems and thus heavily impacted upon access to basic human needs. This indeed calls for a concerted effort, and it is on such background that we welcome services of a development partner as Humanity First. I know there are many people who are also doing such work, but Humanity First, it has done really tremendous work within our communities. I was introduced to Humanity First some years back And ever since, I can attest to a fruitful relationship that has brought smiles to my people in Uganda. My people have water wells that have been dug. The children have gone to school, especially with the orphans who have been helped. Security, food security is also an area that has been touched. We have animals that have been given, seeds have been given to our people so that they can plant. And of course, many other things, scholastic materials. Those who have gone to vocational schools, they are also there. So I know a lot has been done, and some youths who have been also assisted are also testimonies of what Humanity First has done in Eastern Uganda. This program opened the avenues of these youths, as one was subsequently contracted by a multinational firm. It is my hope and prayer that Humanity First widens scope of assistance now more than ever, as the pandemic has stifled systems and thus created abnormal delivery gaps for governments across the globe. I want to thank you, Humanity First, for this work that you've really done among communities, and we pray that you continue doing the same as we continue, of course, looking forward to more and more opportunities.
Thank you very much. That has been the third Deputy Prime Minister of Uganda, Honorable Nakadama Isanga. And let's have the last message from our government official, and that is Honorable Edward Sekandi, former Vice President of Uganda and now a special presidential envoy in the office of the President of Uganda. Also, he has a message for the viewers.
As governments, we are overstrained on account of a global pandemic, but with an upside that we have seen mankind more interactive, responsive and bound by common purpose in the fight against COVID-19. We are proud of the intervention by development partners as Humanity First, whose reach has undoubtedly impacted lives at the darkest of hours and the farthest of parched locals. In Uganda, we have benefited immensely as we have been remarkably availed access to clean water, supplemented health care in various ways, and contributed heavily towards literacy and poverty alleviation campaigns. When His Excellency the President made an appeal in the initial phase of this pandemic, Humanity First Uganda responded most dutifully and has ever since continued a relentless partner to this fight through your innumerable donations to the COVID-19 Task Force, Mulago Referral Hospital, and several health centers across the country. We cannot thank you enough but the journey is a long one, and pursuit of equal access seems open-ended. So kindly expand your humanitarian footprint as widely as possible. I'll end by echoing the call of His Excellency, UN Secretary General, on occasion of UN Charter Day, where he adjourned us as a community with an enduring vision to channel a collective spirit and rise to a prevalent and moment trial test. I thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. Welcome back, our dear viewers. The broadcast is still going on. Please, we encourage you, donate, and our account numbers are just down there on the screen, and also the telephone numbers. You can reach us on those numbers. Whatever you have, please donate it right now. Yes, Brother Kwanka, we have seen some of the dignitaries within the circles of the government are speaking good about the work of Humanity First. Briefly, just in 30 seconds, how is your relationship with the government of Uganda here?
Thank you very much. The government of Uganda, just like other governments elsewhere, is very welcome when it comes to charity, and as long as whatever you're doing is helping the society, it's open. I remember when we sought for permission to go and offer the same services, the same aid. I wanted to carry it to the Nachivare settlement, and the office of the Prime Minister was so welcoming. When we went to the regional person responsible for the entire settlements within the Western area, she wanted us to be there at least every year. You know, this is how welcoming they are to when it comes to charity work, and them having been potential donors.
And I think
if you check the ministers, we've been there and they have donated to this charity. They know the work we do. So,
and I think this is majorly, this one has been the work of the Directorate of Marketing and Fundraising in Humanity First.
Yes, yes.
Because any organization that doesn't have that, it cannot manage to establish such a good relationship. And on that note, I want us right now to be joined by the Director Marketing and Fundraising Humanity First Uganda.
Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Moses Kiemba, and I'm the Director of Orphan Care Uganda. Our main purpose today is to let you viewers know that we are running a fundraising in order to assist with all the projects that we are doing in Uganda. Currently, we have about 130 orphans that we are taking care of. Of those, 84 are boys and 46 are girls. Mostly we have kids in the primary section, and we're looking at about 105 kids, and this is spread in over 11 districts in Uganda. We've had kids who have graduated from primary and gone to secondary schools, and we have about 10 of those who are in the secondary schools right now. We also take care of kids who have gone up to tertiary institutions like technical institutions, one in Udaka, doing all sorts of disciplines like mechanics, tailoring, and all that kind of thing. Currently, we are facing a big challenge of finance, in the sense that things all over the world have hiked in prices. We used to take care of kids for about 1 million shillings, but as of now, scholastic materials, the fees that we pay in schools, everything has gone up to almost a tune of 2 million shillings. So it's incumbent upon the good people like you to assist in donating generously towards this project so that we can see these kids graduate. We are helping kids in over 11 districts, like I said. We're in Masaka, Chivoga, Chivale, Mbale, Bududa, Budaka, Budiope, Jinja, all over the country. We've tried to spread to help out in all districts that need help. But as you're aware, the situation is getting a little bit tougher and we don't have the funding to help out so many kids. We have so many applications, but because of the funding, it's a little bit hard for us to take on so many kids and then we can't deliver the services. It hurts to the bone when you see guardians coming to us telling us, please help me and take care of my child. I'm an elderly person. This kid is an orphan. The parents died of either COVID or they died of AIDS and they need help. And you have to turn them away and tell them, you know what, we can't afford right now. So we really need your help if you could at least come in and help us. Right now, we are putting up an orphan center in Fort Portal, a town called Kavende. And because of the meager funds, we are just about to take on 20 kids in that orphan care. We would have loved to take like 100 of them. But because of the scarcity of funds and the support, we are able to only house about 20 of them. And even the 20 that we are taking on, they will need scholastic materials, they will need feeding, they will need services from the matrons and the patrons. Everything that you would have thought of that a child needs at home, orphan care does that. We make sure that the kids have good health. We have doctors who temporarily come and check on them. We have teachers, we have counselors. We make sure that kids who are in the rural areas, at least we provide them shoes. You can imagine a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old going to school on bare feet right now. It's raining and everything. That becomes a little bit so burdensome on the kids. At times it makes them even drop out of school. So we need all your support that you can help us with in terms of taking care of these kids. Majorly, we need tuition for these kids. We need scholastic materials for these kids. We need to provide them with medical. These kids have a lot of diseases that you can't imagine. I mean, dental health is needed. Some of them have fever, they have cough. Talk about anything that could hurt somebody in the village, they have them. So we really need your help, and the whole reason why we are giving this campaign back to the people is to help out from the generous people, that please help out anything that you can afford so that we can be able to take care of these kids and have and give them a good life. As you know, the government can't do much. They can only do what they can. And the rest depends on us, the citizens, to help out in any way we can. If you want to donate physical textbooks or physical books or shoes or bed sheets, soap, we will take on anything. You know, if you can donate the cash, we definitely appreciate that. The numbers where to donate will be provided on the screen, and the bank details will also be provided on the screen. But we really, really humbly ask you to give a helping hand to see that the kids of Uganda can be helped. We have other programs where we would have wanted these kids either to join technical schools that do IT and other kind of things, but they'll need computers. They'll need at least a good background in education. So we want to put them in good schools. That way at least they can feel that somebody cares. We don't want them to feel like because their parents passed on, they have been left out, when we can honestly help out. Ugandans have been known to be friendly people, welcoming people, and we always act as an extended family in Humanity First. Our motto is to make sure that everybody is given at least the best that we can offer. Thank you so much, and we appreciate it. Please donate as much as you can. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And time is not on our side. We are chasing time. As I told you, we have a lot of stuff on our menu. And I want us right now to cross to Dr. Muhammad Attar Zubail. That is the chairman, Humanity First German. And he will be telling us, because I want us to know very well that the main funders or donors of Humanity First Uganda actually from UK, German, and as I speak right now, Humanity First German is constructing an orphanage in Uganda, that is in Fort Portal. And we want to hear from Dr. Muhammad Attar Zubair, who is the chairman, Humanity First German, to tell us why did they decide to construct an orphanage here in Uganda.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, Humanity First Uganda is holding a very special program today in which they ask this humble person to deliver a small message about the orphanage in Uganda. Firstly, to my humble person, I am Muhammad Attar Zubair, serving for the time in Humanity First Germany. And by the grace of Allah, and I must say by the special prayers of our most beloved Khalifa, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad Ayyadallahu Ta'ala bin Nasrul Aziz, received during the COVID pandemic a message from a generous lady who wished to give some donation to construct an orphanage in Africa, in Uganda. After receiving this message from this lady, His Holiness asked me to do a survey and to provide my report about the feasibility of constructing an orphanage in Uganda. After contacting Amir Sahib of Uganda and Chairman Sahib, Haruna Sahib from Humanity First Uganda, and discussing with them about several points, with the special blessings and prayers of His Holiness, I went to Uganda and to have also to see the land and see how we could construct this orphanage there. And after a deep work with the local team, we were able to finalize the structure, planning, the programs, and even the budget of this orphanage. And I must say at this point that the entire Humanity First team, Uganda, was working tirelessly to achieve this goal, to make it possible to build an orphanage in the region of Fort Portal. Even the regional missionary there, he was so keen to really assist us in all possible way to make it possible that we are able to start this orphanage. And Alhamdulillah, after presenting the report to His Holiness approved this project and he gave us the green light to start. And by the grace of Allah, we then started, and the local team made a fabulous job to make it possible that now the orphanage is near to completion. By the grace of Allah, we intend to have about 10 to 20 children in this orphanage for the time being. And with the time, I think we can also expand this structure. And with your help, we'll be able to finance it also over the time, because an orphanage like this needs also permanent support and for the costs, running costs. So Humanity First Germany will take over these costs, and with the special help of all of you, would be able to guarantee a quality and a professional service to the orphans in Uganda. Alhamdulillah, I am so sure that the prayers of His Holiness would really make a huge difference. So thank you very much for helping us to help those who are in need. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Brother Muhammad Attar, Chairman Humanity First German. And as you have heard, before I come back to Brother Abdul Kiwanka, let's also cross to the Director, Disaster Relief Humanity First Uganda, that is Brother Abdul Malik Semfuka, and we would like to know how these people get the professionals to execute the tasks in the bid of serving humanity first, and what really motivates the volunteers who are working in humanity first.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Rashid Nahoho, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity on this telethon. As you know, today we are fundraising. We are doing a fundraising of orphan care project. And let me take this opportunity to tell my viewers across the nation, across the world, that it's high time we donate, we give something to help these poor brothers and sisters on the streets. We have the brothers and sisters in villages. We have them in camps, refugee camps. They are orphans. They are not going to be helped by any person. But you don't just sit down with a simple coin in your pocket or any amount you have in your pocket. Just give it and donate it right away. Don't expect anything from these orphans. Just help them, because you don't know, one day your children might be orphans. You don't know what it might be tomorrow. Don't wait. Don't give it a second chance. Don't give it a second chance. Don't give it a second thought. Just do it now and then. You'll gain the blessings from God. Even if you're a Christian, even if you're a Muslim, even if you are a person who doesn't believe in God, but you have a good heart, you are a good-hearted person, it doesn't matter. Those orphans, they will not discriminate your coin, that I will not take this coin, it comes from a Christian. The professions, how do we get them? How do we get the professions who execute this volunteerism of serving mankind? How do we get them? We get them from you people. We are not the only person, the Muslim, the Ahmadiyya Muslim, serving mankind. No way. In UK, we are getting donation from UK. Those people who are giving that donation from UK, they are not only Muslims. They are Christians. So, those professions, we get, or we have the Christian doctors, Christian engineers, those people in the field extracting boreholes, they are Christians. Those people in our schools, they are not all Muslims. It doesn't matter. Wherever we go, we look at people when they request that they want to be part of us, we recruit them. Then we tell them the purpose of Humanity First. So, I call upon all members who want to be volunteers. They are free to come. We don't discriminate. Muslim can come, non-Muslims can come. Even if you don't have any faith, you are free to come. But you have to have that something in your heart of serving mankind. What motivates the youth or the volunteers of Humanity First. I will not look on disaster relief, because all the projects, most of the volunteers are youth. It's the beautiful smile we give to the vulnerable people. Just take a glance and look at a person who is in drought area getting water from our borehole. That small money you have given to extract a borehole. Look at the smile an orphan is getting on her graduation or his graduation, saying that so and so has graduated as an engineer. Just look at that smile. Just put yourself in those shoes, because you have graduated. You are doctors. You are nurses. You have put that hat on your head. How was the smile? That beautiful hug you gave to your mom and dad for having paid you that school fees. That's the thing you have to think about, and it motivates most of the volunteers. When we go in the camp, we have given them sanitary areas, toilets. We have given them food. Gift of sight. We are in the eastern region. A person had a caretaker for 8 years. 8 years. After being operated, he managed to see her granddaughter. Just look at that happiness he got. This is the thing we are telling to all viewers, that don't undermine your small amount of money you are having. Even if you have donated something, it doesn't cost anything to add more. Donate more so that we can save mankind.
Thank you very much, Brother Abdul Malik Semfuka. And now, Brother Abdul Kiwanuka, we have had all these 3 messages from these people. What is the status according to your research? Do you think that the orphanage that is being constructed in Fort Portal, can it cater for the orphans in that region? Will it cater for the orphans in Fort Portal alone, or for those ones who are in other parts of Uganda also?
Thank you very much. If we look at the orphanage, like I said, we estimate that it might take care of only 50 orphans at a go. So probably that proves that it might not even cover Fort Portal alone.
So do you have plans to construct more orphanages like that?
Yes, this is the very reason of this telethon, and it's the very appeal that we are laying out to our dear viewers and the people across the globe and Uganda. The world is no longer oceans away. It's now we are living in a global village, like you've said, that it's Humanity First German that is constructing the orphanage in Uganda. And we can, like the country relationship officer said, Brother Mwanje Jamil, talked of Uganda. Ugandans, we are capable. We can construct 1, 2, 3, 4 more orphanages to reduce on this burden. And by doing this, year after year after year, we can totally eliminate the growing numbers of street children on the roads. So I think it's still, like the former mayor said, it's still a drop in the ocean, but the impact is massive. We are looking out to the future and the presidents of tomorrow, the doctors of tomorrow. You know how many brains that we are saving from being lost out because no one was there to look after them.
Thank you very much, Brother Abdul. And without wasting time, let's have also a video clip from the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa, and we want also to see how did the Humanity First respond to the call by the President during the COVID-19 outbreak in Uganda.
Humanity First Uganda, Ahmadiyya Muslim Association, 1 ton maize flour, 500 piece sanitizers, 2,000 pieces of masks, 60 jerrycans of liquid soap.
That has been a video clip from the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa, and it shows how Humanity First is dedicated to serving mankind. As Mr. Abdul Kawanka said, that it's not they serve all people regardless of your religious background, cultural background, social background. As long as you are in need and you are a human being who is in need, Humanity First is ready to reach out to you to do something that can change your life. And right now we are almost coming to the end of our broadcast. We are going to have the message, our message from the respected Amir and missionary in charge Uganda, that is Maulana Muhammad Al-Kaire. But before that, I want to ask Brother Abdul Kawanka that what the people who are volunteering in Humanity First, who can, in other words, who can volunteer in Humanity First?
Thank you very much. The Director, Disaster Relief, has talked about this, Brother Abdul Malik Semfuka, and volunteering has no limit. Like I was elaborating to you. When we go out in these camps, when we go out during disaster relief or community care, it's not that we only need the professionals. We need people from all the different walks of life. Being in Gift of Sight and Global Health, we usually have applications coming from different professionals. And we align our timing and we say the camp will be in this time, and people can arrange their off periods such that when they are off from work, instead of going to go to vacations and all that, they can come and offer a service 1, 2, 3, 4 days.
So anybody who is willing?
Yes, anybody. When we are running for disaster relief, anyone who can be there, anyone who can give a helping hand. So everyone is welcome, and our call is so much to volunteering.
Thank you very much. So if there are people who are willing to be volunteers in Humanity First, the door is open, and you can also be part of those people who are helping humankind. And now, right now, as we are almost coming to the conclusion of our program, let's have a message from the respected Amir and missionary in charge Uganda, respected Maulana Muhammad Al-Kaire. And before the broadcast, we asked him why he thinks that it is very, very important that every human being should make it a point in his life to support and serve humanity.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. In essence, the valid question would be, why do you think every human being should make it a point to support and serve humanity? From the Islamic point of view, what we call virtue, righteousness, piousness, morality, faith, holiness, wisdom, and civility all revolve upon two basic principles. That is recognition of the rights of the Creator, God the Almighty, upon man, and as well as recognition of the rights of fellow creatures, in other words, servants of God upon you. These two principles, in other words, they would call them huququllah wa huququl ibad. That's to know the rights of Allah upon you and to know the rights of fellow creatures upon you. These are the two basic principles of life in the Islamic context. Allah the Almighty in Surah Qaf, that is chapter 51, verse 32, tells us that وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I did not create the jinni and the people, humans, except for worshiping me. Now, the word liya'budun is so that they should worship me. Comes from the word abdu, which means a servant. This means that the basic duty of every human being is, first of all, to serve the cause of Allah, His Creator. And secondly, to serve the cause of fellow creatures. This is the huququllah and the huququl ibad. Now, as far as Islamic teaching is concerned, that's what we call worship. Apart from those two methods of worship, there is no any other worship that would hold water, that would make sense. Why among the creatures, specifically, man is singled out? It is so because Allah the Almighty among the creatures has exalted mankind above all other creatures. In the whole Quran, Allah the Almighty in Surah Bani Israel, chapter 17, verse 71, clearly tells us that وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَحَمَلْنَاهُمْ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ وَرَزَقْنَاهُمْ مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَفَضَّلْنَاهُمْ عَلَى كَثِيرٍ مِّمَّنْ خَلَقْنَا تَفْضِيلًا. That indeed Allah has exalted mankind, has enabled him to scale distances on land, on seas, and of recently in the air, and has provided to him what is pure as nourishment, and has as well exalted him in his status above many of what he created. Now, that being the case, when we talk of huququl ibad, recognizing the rights of God's creatures and serving their cause, the most prominent of the creatures is humanity. That's why it is very, very important for man to serve fellow man more prominently, and also not downlook upon the rights of other creatures of a lower status. That's the Islamic teaching. Of course, another issue or another question would emerge, that from where shall man get all these resources to serve fellow human beings, fellow creatures? This Allah the Almighty has clearly put to service whatever is available to us. Say, for instance, in Surah Ibrahim, that's chapter 14, starting verse 33, Allah the Almighty clearly states, Allahu alladhi khalaqa as-samawati wal arda. It is Allah who created the heavens and the earth. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً, and caused rain to fall from the clouds. فَأَخْرَجَ بِهِ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ رِزْقًا لَكُمْ, and causes the flow of water, a means of causing the germination of several plants, رِزْقًا لَكُمْ, for your nourishment. وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمُ الْفُلُكَ, and God has put to service for you whatever sails on the lakes, لِتَجْرِي فِي الْبَحْرِ, so that you move smoothly on water, بِأَمْرِهِ, under his command. وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمُ الْأَنْهَارِ, and also provided for you the rivers. Make use of the sea to serve fellow creatures. Make use of rivers to serve fellow creatures. He goes ahead, says, وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمُ الشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ دَائِبَيْنِ. He also put to service for you the sun and the moon. Fellow creatures. He also goes ahead and says, وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمُ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ. He has also put to your service day and night. Also take advantage of that to serve fellow creatures. Finally, I enjoin every person to devote all his service first to his Creator, Allah the Almighty, then to fellow creatures, most specifically the humans. Long live humanity first. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, our respected dear Amir and missionary in charge Uganda, for that wonderful and powerful message to the people watching Sami Wabasid. And of course, as I told you, our broadcast is also live on Humanity First YouTube channel. Please, you can subscribe and also comment and share the links. And if you are willing to donate, please, our mobile telephone numbers are down on the screen and our bank accounts are there. Whatever you have, however small it is, please bring it in Humanity First, and it will change the people, the lives of many people who are suffering outside there. Now, let's cross to a message or a video clip from our beloved, or the supreme head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, also concerning the service offered by Humanity First.
Irrespective of the cause of the suffering, if we claim to be true Muslims, it is our obligation and paramount duty to assist all people who are facing difficulties and to strive to alleviate their pain and distress. Our religion of Islam has taught us two overarching means of serving mankind. The first way is to bring people towards their Creator and to inspire them towards fulfilling His rights. Accordingly, it is the duty of every true Muslim to try to bridge the rift and void that is growing between humanity and Allah the Almighty. The second primary means of serving mankind is to help people in their time of need and to utilize whatever resources are available in order to bring ease and comfort to those who are deprived or facing trials and tribulations.
Welcome back from that short video clip from the Supreme Head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. And now, right now, as we come to the end of this broadcast, and Brother Abdikwanuka, what are your last remarks to the people who have been watching us?
Thank you very much. I've listened to what the Amil and missionary in charge, Jamaat Ahmadiyya Uganda, and what our beloved Uzul, may Allah strengthen his hand, they have to say. They have left me with one question, and that question is, what's humanity without compassion? You know, what do you really qualify to be a human being if you cannot be compassionate to your friend, your neighbor, or someone out there? So it is our responsibility, it is within our nature to help. The teachers that go out to teach, it's not that the government is going to be on them to ensure that they are teaching the right things. So whatever they are doing to teach out there, they're offering a service to humanity. That service which cannot be matched with what they are paid. It's the same with the doctors, the nurses. Even if someone is taking off your blood when you come to the hospital, the service they are offering can by far be not matched with the salary they are paid in whatever they are doing. Because what makes them simple, what makes them different and be able to do the same work every day to ensure they are always on duty at 8 and to ensure that they offer that compassion to these people who are sick, the different kind of people when we run out to help them. It's not because of anything that we are going to get back, but it's because of that inherent nature that humanity that is within us, that we feel touched when we see a child who is going without where to stay. The same that happens when we see that the people have been afflicted by flooding or by heavy rains, and we've seen what has happened in Pakistan. We see what is happening in Ukraine. You know, innocent people who have nothing to do with the government policies and whatever that is happening. All they need is to have a decent home, go to school, have access to medical care, you know, and this is all they need, you know. So that inherent character that we have, that's what makes us human. So we cannot talk about humanity when we don't talk about compassion.
What call do you give to the people who are watching?
So to our dear viewers out there, I give a simple call to you all that whatever little you have, start with what you have. You don't need to have a lot to donate. All you need is what you have. Like I gave a simple illustration, that if you've been surviving on 10,000 a day, you can decide to give 5,000 away. Because any meal for 2 people is enough for one, any meal for 1 person can be enough for 2 people. You donate something little, we start with that. To every mountain that you climb, you start with a single step.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Kiwanuka. And I want also to thank our dear viewers thank you since you have been with us since this broadcast started. Thank you very much. Thank you. We love you so much. I want to greet all our friends who have been watching us in East Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Germany, wherever you are, that you have been watching this broadcast. You did something very, very, very good. And I want to encourage that please, if you have something to donate, please donate it on those telephone numbers and the bank accounts. And also, please don't forget to subscribe and also share the links. It has been a broadcast by concerning Humanity First, serving mankind, and we have had a lot. Please, let's join Humanity First to change the lives of the sufferings outside there. I want to end with this quote by the African icon Nelson Mandela. He one time said that success is not how much wealth and power you have, but it is the difference that you cause in the people, on the livelihoods of people around you. So the little we have, let's use it to change the sufferings of the lives of people who are suffering outside there. Stay with us. Continue watching Sami Wabasil. We shall bring in more interesting programs. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all.
Humanity First Uganda, under its program Global Health, reached out to the vulnerable, needy people of Mbale and its neighboring districts with a free medical camp at Ahmadiyya Muslim Medical Center in Mbale district, about 262 kilometers from Kampala, the capital of Uganda. This free medical camp served over 1,500 people of different walks of life from Mbale and 7 neighboring districts, including Wukedia, Abududa, Sironko, Soloti, Abudaka, and Chibuku. The camp lasted for 3 days, attracting volunteers from far and wide, most notably among whom was Dr. Zakaria Abdullah Yusuf, a rheumatologist working with National Health Services UK, and Dr. Betty Bilal Ahmad Tariq, a medical officer working with National Health Services UK. The camp served a number of people with different medical complications, and a number of medical services were offered ranging from antenatal, dental, ultrasonic scan, free open pharmacy, medical consultants, laboratory, counseling, homeopathy, and many more others. The Amir and missionary in charge, Al-Haji Maulana Muhammad Ali Kaile, along with the chairman, Humanity First Uganda, Mr. Mubilu Haluna, performed an inspection of the different departments put up to provide the best of service to the vulnerable.